everybody. Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back, finally, to another installment, the first of 2020, of a very special podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about all your favorite TV series from a yesteryear. Oh, yeah. And then, oh, yeah, boy. Oh, yeah. We discuss them over a glass of wine. And I'm your host, Patrick Amdun. And I'm joined here by my favorite gal pal in the galaxy, Kat Halstead, the author. Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Welcome.
Hello.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be alive in 2020? It's the future.
I don't know, considering I have spent most of 2020 sick so far.
I know. You caught the coronavirus, or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know what you have.
I don't know, like, the last day we recorded was the first day I started to feel sick.
Yeah.
And I have felt sick since then. So since Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah, we had, I
have been sick.
We had, a few episodes plotted. We're going to do, one more Christmas episode. We had, a hot, New Year's Eve themed episode planned. And then you got sick. I got tired of you being sick, so I fled the country. Went to Cuba impromptu. I was like, I'm done with this, bitch.
Yeah, and I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that I was sick. It's I had no voice whatsoever. I called out from work. I'm barely left the house for the last month or so, except to go to work when I haven't been so sick that I can't go.
I just, every day.
I've lost my voice twice.
I know, this is your first time talking in 40 days? At least 40 days, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. She had a chalkboard tied to a string, and she just kept it around her neck, and she just wrote messages to her boyfriend, can you go get me something to eat? Or get me some more Gatorade, please?
It's more Gatorade.
You learn sign language.
Lemon lime Gatorade, not the sugar-free stuff.
There's sugar-free Gatorade?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a crime.
Yeah.
Calling the police. Hello, police. I'd like to report a crime. My boyfriend just got sugar-free Gatorade.
Yeah.
That's Kat on the phone with the police. Dialing 911. What's your emergency? Connie Britton answers the phone. Or is it Jennifer Love Hewitt? It might be Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I don't know. Who's the one on Lone Star 911?
I have no idea. I don't have a clue. I did not know that was a thing until it came out. All of a sudden, I just kept seeing ads for it, and people are wildly upset about it.
I'm just ooh, Rob Lowe. I should check that out. Haven't checked it out. See, my voice is going in and out. I can feel it.
Wait, hold on a second. Did you just say Rob Lowe?
Yes, I did say Rob Lowe.
Do you think that's a segue into what we're doing today? Perfect time to drop it?
Oh my god, I did not even comprehend. Not on purpose. Not on purpose.
Look at you, girl. Look at you. Yeah, we're not doing Parks and Recreations. Nope, we're not doing Parks and Recreations. We're doing the show he did before Parks and Recreations, I think. I don't know if there's one in betwixt.
Yeah.
All right. Because this is your 11th favorite show of all time.
This is definitely one of my all-time favorite TV shows. It's one of those shows that I have actually gone back and rewatched the entirety of.
All right. So,
a couple of times.
I'll allow you to drop the name of this program, this hot television program, produced by Ken Olin and Greg Berlanti. Is that how you say his name?
Greg Berlanti.
Who later went on to create the Arrow universe on the C-dubs.
Yes.
Shout out to him, and shout out to Barry Allen of The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow.
We're doing Brothers and Sisters.
Oh yeah, Brothers and Sisters, the hot show starring Sally Field, Callista Flockhart, gal pals Rachel Griffith, Ron Rifkin, Patricia Wettig, Balthazar Getty, running out of names, Rob Lowe, Luke Grimes,
Dave Annabelle, Emily VanCamp,
Rachel Griffiths of 6 Feet Under fame. Did I already say her name?
Luke McFarlane. Oh my god, there's just so many.
Hallmark movie fame.
Yes,
Luke McFarlane. That Luke McFarlane.
Which blew Steven's mind the other day when he found out.
Pre-podcast, I was eating my sushi, which tasted kind of weird, so I might have food poisoning. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out by the time this episode drops, because I might be dead. It might not drop because I'm dead. But I saw a commercial for a Luke McFarlane movie, and I was like, oh, that was perfect tie-in. Perfect tie-in, girl.
Yeah, I believe he's got one with Haley from One Tree Hill this weekend on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh yeah, Bethany Joy Lenz. I believe that's the commercial that I saw. Yeah, shout out to Bethany Joy Lenz, gal pal, friend of the show. I occasionally drop emojis on her Instagram, and she never replies to me. but one day she will. One day I have faith.
You should have gone to meet James Lafferty, dude.
Oh, when he was in Wilmington, North Carolina, like 3 years ago.
Yes, you should have gone.
He was like a guest bartender, which apparently is a thing that previous actors of CW shows do now. The ones that don't get picked up for Hallmark movies or Chicago PD universe shows,
or to guest star on This Is Us.
Yeah. You know what though? I did see Chad Michael Murray. I did see him in a Hallmark movie a few days ago.
Yeah, he did one for the Winterfest, which is like what they call the movies during like January.
That aren't Christmas themed?
That aren't Christmas themed, but aren't Valentine's Day themed. They're just kind of like, oh, I'm going to ski lodge, or, you know, stuff like that.
They just want to take the opportunity to see like the cold wind coming out of their mouth, like the cold air, steam, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And they're just, I don't know, they have cute mittens and scarves on, and they're, I don't know, you get to see Chad Michaels go down a Black Diamond ski slope, and his loving girlfriend is watching from afar, and she's chilling in the lodge, drinking hot cocoa with her gal pals.
Yeah, I haven't seen his Winterfest movie, but I did see the Christmas movie he did with Crazy Nanny Carrie.
Ooh, you know what?
Which was actually one of my favorites this year.
Maybe next year, if you don't lose your voice in December, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll hit it up.
Maybe.
All right.
Next year, the first day flu shots are available, I'm going to get a fucking flu shot.
You can pretty much get a flu shot all year round.
Well, you know.
Like seasonally speaking.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? My workplace always drops them early. I think we do ours in like August. So I'll send you a hot DM. I'll say, hey, Kat, it's time. Hit up your local Walgreens.
It's time.
Get a fucking...
Kat, go get your goddamn flu shot so you're not sick for another like month and a half.
Go get poked by the cute RN at Walgreens. And then after that, hit up Dutch Brothers Coffee in the ride home and get yourself like a peppermint mocha. Then you can clutch it.
I could go for some Dutch Brothers right now, man.
Yeah. Unofficial sponsor of the show, Dutch Brothers Coffee, where great things happen. I don't know. I'm still waiting for South Carolina to get a Dutch Bros. I keep tweeting them, but I don't know. I think they blocked me because they never reply to me anymore.
They're like this crazy guy.
I think like the very first time I tagged them in a tweet, I think they liked it. And then after that, they realized that I just sent them like 14 a day. And they're like, you know what? Fuck him. The Dutch Bros, we don't got time for this bloke from... And then they like clicked my profile to see where I'm from, and that, South Carolina, fuck him. Fuck him in his backwards ways.
What? This crazy guy.
Little do they know that I'm not really from here, so.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros Coffee. You know what? You do a killing here. I've been scouting. I've been scouting locations, so. You know what? Are they actually brothers? Are they like really bros?
Yeah, it was started by like two brothers or something, I think.
Rod and Todd Dutch.
You can go to like the website and it's got like the story of how they started.
All right, you know what? Maybe for next episode, maybe I'll do a book report on the Dutch Bros Coffee legend, and maybe we can get it like narrated by what's her name, Lee Tyler Young from Sunset Beach, and she'll like say it like it's the legend of Sunset Beach.
Oh my god!
The legend of Dutch Brothers Coffee. Two brothers were once like hiking along the gods country trails of Colorado Springs, Colorado. I don't know where they're based out of. I just assume they are because that's where you live.
It's originally from like Portland or something.
Yeah. What? You mean Portland, where they have all the dirty syringes lying all around their local parks?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Have you seen that meme, that like viral video that's currently going around Twitter, and people think it's fake?
No.
It'll be old news by the time this episode drops.
Listen, I have been like, okay, do you know, like, I have been like head deep in the whole like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle leaving the royal family thing.
I know, that's like wild to me. That's like the wildest thing that's ever happened in the history of The Crown. I can't wait till that season of The Crown comes out on Netflix. Do you think Meghan Markle can play herself?
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they handle the fact that she faked the pregnancy and she's carrying around a plastic doll for paparazzi shots that she called to have taken while Harry was still in the UK. Conspiracy corner.
I like that they're going back to Canada, though. That's great. You know what? She's closer to us, where she belongs. Maybe USA's eyeing her for for another TV series. So you know what? Maybe she's just dying to get back in the biz.
Oh, she's dying to make some money. She wants all the money she can possibly get her hands on.
Have they finally canceled Suits? Is Suits finally canceled? I
think it's canceled. I think it's done. I don't think it exists anymore.
Yeah, we had that hot Katherine Heigl final season, and everyone was like, "No, girl, no." But I don't know. You know what? Maybe they'll do a Suits movie, like a made-for-TV movie, and it's Meghan Markle's back in action, and then in the first minute she kills Katherine Heigl, and then it's her on the lam. That's the rest of the movie. Down for it. Call me USA Network. I get characters welcome.
Oh my god.
That's your motto, right?
It was. I don't know if it still is.
Speaking of characters being welcome.
I actually cannot tell you the last time I watched USA.
You mean you're not, you didn't watch that show with Sawyer from Lost about Colony, I think it was called?
Oh my god. Okay, so I remember I did the first 2 episodes of that or something onto iTunes. So I have it on my iTunes. And I did not like it.
All right, I didn't see it, but I am kind of intrigued by this new Rosario Dawson show, Briar Patch, coming in February.
Oh, you know what? I think was the Josh Duhamel show on USA where he was hunting the killers of Biggie and Tupac.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
There was that show where Josh Duhamel was playing a detective. I think that was that was on USA, and that was the last thing I watched on USA.
Literally the last time that I knew or heard about Josh Duhamel was fucking Las Vegas. I haven't seen him around. I don't know what he. Oh, Unsolved. Yeah, that was a USA show. I just found it.
Yeah, you're oh, wait, now I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I watched that.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I remember hearing about it, and I never knew it came out.
Yeah. Apparently
it came out. It's come and gone. But
yeah, I think it's on Hulu now or something, so you can watch it.
You know what? I am wildly intrigued by this.
It's a really fascinating show. I really enjoyed it last year.
Oh man, I can't wait to watch it.
It was one of those shows that when I would get home from work at night, and I would check the DVR to see what recorded. It was one of the first ones I would go to watch.
I think we should stop the podcast, stop the recording right now. I'm going to watch all 10 episodes of Unsolved, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. We're going to rebrand. We're going to rebrand as the Unsolved Murder Mystery of Biggie and Tupac, starring the star of Las Vegas and Win a Date with Tad Hamilton.
I feel that's more of a Getting Catty kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. You don't think we should do a mini-series, an AVSP mini-series?
I don't think we understand what a mini-series is in reality, unless we're watching one.
We're not Serial or...
the mini-series doesn't even exist anymore, in all honesty.
No, they're called limited television events now, I believe.
Yeah, and then everybody's I need a second season. You can't end it like this.
Because speaking of USA Network, they had that one with Sigourney Weaver 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to our gal pal Sigourney Weaver and our horny thrashing beaver. All right, brothers and sisters. What is it? Tell us about it.
Let's talk about one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
All right. Before you get into it, I'm gonna name a TV show, and then you're gonna tell me if it's better or worse than Brothers and Sisters. You ready for that game? You ready for the Brothers and Sisters game? Brought to you by Peppermint Winter Fresh Gum. Melrose Place, better or worse than Brothers and Sisters?
Worse.
Okay, controversial. Desperate Housewives.
Better.
Okay. So Desperate Housewives is better than Brothers and Sisters. That's the way we're going with, right?
Okay. Well, it's equal.
No, but when I say the name of a show, when you say better, we're meaning that the show that I said is better than Brothers and Sisters. That's the way we're doing this, right? I didn't explain the rules.
Yeah, no, then they're equal. They're equal.
Okay. That's a viable answer. All right. You ready? You ready for a game changer?
Okay.
Lost.
Better.
Okay. I agree. We'll allow it.
You know how I feel about Lost.
I sure do, girl. All right. This one's also a game changer. That 70s Show.
Worse.
Okay. All right. Yeah, That 70s Show is a little it kind of ebbs and flows. It's got better years than others. All right. We got time for one more. We got time for one more.
Yeah.
Bruce the intern, do we got time for one more? He just shook his head yes. All right. You ready? I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to go back into the vault. I'm going to think of a show that we've done several times on this podcast. A show that we talk about in our free time a lot. The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Is it better or worse than Brothers and Sisters?
Better.
There's only one. All right, I was going to say there's only one answer. There's only one. This is not an objective answer. This is a subjective. And you got the right answer. You win an all-expense paid trip to Guatemala.
Oh, yay.
Brought to you by Winter Fresh Gum. Tell us about Brothers and Sisters, because you know what? I bet you a lot of people out there don't know about this.
So, Brothers and Sisters is the show about the Walker family. They are a family that consists of the oldest sister, Sarah. There is a brother, Tommy, a sister, Kitty, another brother, Kevin, and a youngest brother, Justin. At the start of the series, their father dies, and as they are sorting out his will and everything, they start to discover inconsistencies within the family business, such as embezzlement, and things aren't tracking, and the older sister Sarah's trying to get into the accounts, and they find out that the father was having an affair with this woman, Holly, who has a daughter, Rebecca. And they discover that Rebecca is their half-sister. And you also get the mother, Nora, played by Sally Field, who's just amazing.
Oh yeah, she's great in this. She's fucking amazingly wonderful.
Oh my god, she's just everything. Nora Walker is probably one of the greatest TV mothers of all time.
Whoa, even better than Maggie Seaver and the mom from Family Ties.
She's up there with Maggie Seaver for sure.
Where do you rate her with the mom from Family Ties, whose name escapes me?
I don't rate Elise that high.
Elise Keaton, that's her name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Meredith Baxter, no longer Bernie. My apologies, because I don't know, in the summer episodes, I literally was praising the ground you walked on, and now I'm I forgot her name. Cancel me, Twitter.
I forgot her name.
Pretend I'm Terry Crews.
Oh my god, what world did we come back to, Patrick?
I know. I was do we just do a wrap up, a monthly wrap up? And then I was no, you know what? It's been 85 years, to quote the Titanic lady.
It's about the dynamic of this family trying to move on from this huge secret, try to save the family business, have their own lives, still be connected, kind of thing. Because, Sarah and Tommy went into the family business. Kitty went and became a Republican talking head up for radio and television.
Yeah, she's kind of going that that Fox News route.
Yeah, she's the conservative of the family. The father was conservative, but Nora's liberal and most of the other kids are liberal, but she's the most outspoken conservative of them all.
I have a hot question for you about Kitty, about Callista Flockhart as Kitty. All right, I love Callista Flockhart. She's great. She was great as Ally McBeal. Yeah. She was all right as Supergirl's boss, but how do we feel about Kitty? How do we do we like Kitty? I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about Kitty.
I love Kitty.
Really?
I love Kitty. Yeah. I love Kitty Walker.
I love she's a great presence. Callista's definitely a great presence, but I'm just the character. I don't know. She never really did it for me.
I love Kitty. Part of the reason I love her is we don't get to see a character like her very often.
That is true. I will give her that. But you know what? I'm a Sarah fan. I feel like the actress Rachel Griffiths, who plays Sarah, I feel like she doesn't get enough love out there. Mm-hmm. She played Brenda on 6 Feet Under, which I always felt had kind of a similar vibe to Brothers and Sisters, mm-hmm. which is kind of weird how she ended up on the show. But I don't know, I was expecting a lot of, especially after Brothers and Sisters ended, I was all right, this is Rachel Griffiths' time to shine. And I don't know, she just kind of fizzled out. I don't know, what's she been up to? I looked at her IMDb, and I'm like, I know none of the other things that she's done since.
Yeah, I mean, that happens with a lot of people. They're like, what are you doing? I don't know what any of this is.
I know, like, she, at one point in her career, she was opposite Julia Roberts in My Best Friend's Wedding, and it was like, shit, you know what?
Yeah.
We're entering the age of Rachel Griffiths. And then, like, all of a sudden she was on 6 Feet Under, then she was on Brothers and Sisters, and I was like, damn, you know what? She's destined to be the next, like, Meryl Streep. And it's like, nope. Like, girl, come back to us. Write us, tweet us a very podcast.
Yeah.
Tell us what Callista Flockhart smelled like. Oh. Did you ever go out to dinner with Sally Field? What did she order?
You want all these great tidbits, huh?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, did they go to Peyronies? Is that the name of the restaurant that Betty Davis and Joan Crawford went to? Is it Peyronies? Is that the name of it?
I honestly don't remember anymore.
It was like that famous, like, Hollywood eatery from the 60s and 50s. Call us and tweet us if you remember the name of us. All right.
And then so there's Kitty, and then we have Kevin, who is a lawyer, and he is gay.
Played by Matthew Rhys. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Our boy toy. I don't know. Like, what is he to us? Do we like him?
I love him.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then we have one of my absolute favorites, Dave Annabelle, who plays Justin, who is the youngest of the actual Walker siblings. He is a veteran of Afghanistan, and he is like the recovering addict of the family.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to Justin Walker. He's great. Loved him. Big fan of the character. Big fan of the actor. I've seen him in a few things.
I love Dave Annabelle.
Yeah, he's been in a few things. He's been in The Americans. He's been in
No, are you sure you're not getting him and Matthew confused?
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. Sorry, girl.
Yeah, because no, Dave did that 666 Park Avenue show.
Oh, yeah.
And he was on Red Band Society, which is another great show that if you can track down, because I don't think it's technically legally streaming anywhere.
Oh.
But it's a depressing show because it's about a bunch of kids in a children's hospital wing who have cancer and all kinds of diseases, anorexia and cystic fibrosis. And
you know what? I feel like a dick because, like, I think I just, like, swapped these people in my head, in my mind. Oh, all right. Yeah. So what I said about Matthew Rhys a minute ago, and I was like, Matthew Rhys, to Matthew Rhys. He was opposite Kerry Russell on The Americans. Oh yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him for being like a low key KGB sleeper agent. Oh yeah, and Felicity also being one. So yeah, wild times these 2000s have been. The 2010s. Is that what we call them now? The 2010s?
Yeah, the 2010s.
All right, R.I.P. the 2010s, because we're in a new decade, girl. We're now in the decade of
2020s. We're in the 20s, dude.
We're in a weird new decade in which everyone hates Terry Crews.
Yeah, I still don't know what happened, but that's okay. Ignorance is bliss.
I don't either. You know what? He's good to look at. All right.
Okay.
Who else is in this camp? Who else is in this Walker camp? I feel like we've got everybody.
We also have Ron Rifkin, who plays Nora's brother Saul.
Yeah, great. Ron Rifkin. Who was Sloane.
Yes. Who was a business partner in the family business. And then we have Patricia Wettig, who played Holly Harper, who was the husband's mistress, because she just does not go away. Like, ever.
She's just
she is, like, always there irritating Nora. Like, Nora doesn't know about this woman for 20-something years. And then the husband dies. And then Nora cannot get this bitch away from her.
At the time, when the show first came out, I loved Holly Harper. And then when I went back to, like, rewatch this episode that we did tonight, which we haven't even, like, said we did yet, but I was like, was I for real in fucking 2006 or 7, whenever this came out? Because I was like, this bitch just needs to go. She just needs to fucking pack her bags and get on a fucking plane to Cuba, because I was like, I'm over her. I'm over fucking Patricia Wettig. Ugh, like, go away. Go back to, I don't know, are they doing a Prison Break revival?
Yeah, like the whole time. It's like
Jesus Christ.
It's just like, go, like, why are you in this family's lives? Like, just let them be.
And then, like, even in, like, everything else I know her from, she's always played, like, a shitty character. Like, she was on Prison Break, she was, like, kind of like the villain on that show.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't she on Alias, too? Didn't she play, like,
I honestly don't remember, because, like, I feel like Alias was a show I kind of, like, would dive in and out of. I never watched consistently. Like, especially after Bradley Cooper's character died. Like, I don't remember, like, watching it that often.
All right, so, like, the Alias, like, tying to the show was that Ken Olin was one of the executive producers of Alias. And then he was married to Patricia Wettig, I believe, in real life. Balthazar Getty was obviously on, like, the final season of Alias. And Ron Rifkin was obviously on Alias as Arvin Sloan. And I think...
Mm-hmm.
I believe Brothers and Sisters premiered the season after Alias ended. So, you know, he had this whole, like, arsenal of
I think so.
actors to, like, pull from. So he pulled Balthazar, he pulled Ron Rifkin, and, you know, he was fucking Patricia Wettig. So he's like, you know what? Join the fun, girl. Join the fun. You know what? I'm tired of you being around the house. Fucking just hanging out and reading fucking TV Guide and National Enquirer all day. Watching Oprah, because I think Oprah was still on at this time.
I honestly don't even remember when Oprah went off the air anymore.
I don't know. Like, it could either be like 5 years ago or 20 years ago. I like literally have zero idea.
Yeah, same.
That's how like relative time is to me now. All right. And then, shall we save the worst for last? Emily VanCamp as Rebecca Harper, like the half sister who ends up not being a half sister.
Spoiler alert.
All right, so we've talked about Emily VanCamp on this podcast a few times. She's great in Revenge, I think, right? I liked her in Revenge. I don't know about you.
I don't know. I've never watched Revenge. I never got into that one.
She's all right in The Resident. But she totally blows.
Yeah, I like her, but from what I've seen of The Resident, I'm like so far behind on that. That's one show I'm going to have to binge someday.
Yeah, maybe we'll rebrand in like a year as The Resident Podcast. When we finally do our ER spin-off podcast and then we run out of ER episodes to talk about in 2036, we'll dip into The Resident. How about that? Deal? We'll make a pact here and now.
Sounds like a plan.
So we know that Emily VanCamp went on to play Sharon Carter, the niece of Peggy Carter. What is she to Peggy Carter? Niece?
I think she was a grand niece.
Oh, a grand niece. You know what? How about like...
I think so.
You know what? Calling her a grand niece is putting her on a high pedestal. How about just like a weirdly offshoot of Peggy Carter? How about that?
Okay, let's go with that.
I don't want to put the word grand in front of Sharon Carter, but I don't know. Sharon Carter has thus far disappointed us in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but who knows? Maybe she'll be good in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series coming out this year. Disney Plus. Who knows? I know she's on the poster. Yeah. I saw her on the poster.
I mean, somebody has to like keep those two in check.
If you had to keep the Falcon and Winter Soldier in check, and who would you pick? Who would you pick to do it? Anyone that we've seen thus far? Actually,
Rocket.
Really? Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah.
You know what? I think he'd do a good job. I think he'd do a hot job. But do you know who I think? Do you know who I think would do better?
Who?
Do you think would do like a tidbit better? All right. I think we need to break up that like bro camaraderie a little bit. We definitely need a little lady chromosome in there. So I think we should get the Wasp.
Ooh.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly, who I don't like as Kate from Lost, but I do like her as the Wasp.
So
shout out to her. Shout out to...
every once in a while she's got to have a break from Scott anyways.
Yeah, you know what? It's like, you know what? She's tired of this guy just shrinking and growing. She's like, I just want to hang out with a guy who flies and a guy who, I don't know, breaks things with his fists. I don't know what the Winter Soldier does. What is he good for?
Has a giant metal arm that shoots stuff.
Killing Roger Sterling.
Too soon.
It happened in, 1989 or something?
I just think of Howard Stark as, my adorable little Howard Stark from the first Captain America movie. I think of Howard Stark.
Yeah, you know what? I don't see Howard Stark growing up to be Roger Sterling. I don't know. It's like, Roger Sterling's kind of tall and thin, And like I never got like a tall and thin vibe from
Yeah.
young Howard Stark. He's kind of like a little shorterish and kind of like toned.
Yeah.
He had like a toned build. No, I don't know. You know what? Maybe he smoked a lot of cigs in his day. In the 70s, a lot of Joe Camels went through his lips.
Maybe he like invented a serum for himself to make him tall.
Tall and thin and like a silver fox.
Yeah.
You know what? He older Howard Stark watched an episode of Channel 1 News and he saw Anderson Cooper because Anderson Cooper had fucking silver hair in 1990 pretty much. He was like, I want to look like him. And he took the serum and he became a silver fox. And then he got killed by the Winter Soldier because that's what the Winter Soldier does. They just lock him up in a room until they need him to assassinate somebody. That's how Hydra operates.
But he was a silver fox in the late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Because when Cap and Tony go back in time to the base, Tony and his dad meet and they have that moment, and then we see Jarvis, and then Cap becomes a blubbering mess.
You're right. Oh yeah. You know what though? I just feel like Roger Sterling was available and the other guy wasn't. So like, we'll just use Roger Sterling.
We'll just use this guy.
The real Howard Stark, I don't know, he was probably like filming something. He was probably up to no good. He's caught up in some poontang, to quote Chris Rock.
Oh my god.
Before we get into before you get into the brothers and sisters, I'm going to go take a quick pee break. Hot pee break.
Okay, yeah, I need more Gatorade.
All right, so we're going to play, maybe we'll play like we got to play something. You know what? Maybe we'll play a YouTube commercial from Brothers and Sisters just to give you some basic background of the show. Or maybe we'll just play Vonda Shepard singing the theme song to Ally McBeal. Who knows? Who knows what'll come out of these earbuds?
Who knows? Who knows what Patrick's going to put in post? Probably nothing.
Probably nothing. I'm just going to cut this whole mess out and then just going to skip into the rest of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So after these messages, we'll be right back. All right. We're back. All right. So what episode of Brothers and Sisters did we do? Normally when we do like a soap opera, we always start with like the first episode or like a turning point. And I don't know, Kat Halstead, the author, she like randomly... Did you randomly select this episode or did you like purposely like seek this one out? Because I was like wildly intrigued.
I purposely wanted to do the episode where Kevin and Scotty get married. But it's like, it's a season finale episode, so it's kind of like a good place.
Yeah, this is like a very pivotal episode. Like, I feel like it's a turning point for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot is revealed in this episode. A lot happens. And I feel like if you were new to the show, like if this is like your first time watching it, you would get like a quick update and then kind of like, hey, let's see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's why I was just like blown away.
Like, if you just drop into this episode, you 100% just get this whole like, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, because
I can follow this along.
Because I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to wildly throw this out there. Like, this wasn't, like, I'm not like you. I didn't watch this entire series. I kind of like dipped out very early on. I would say even like way before this episode. So this episode is season 2, episode 16, I believe you said, right?
Yeah, it's season 2, episode 16.
The Other Walker is what the name of the episode is. So, from the beginning of the series until this point, as you said, the patriarch of the family dies, and he just left a wave of secrets and lies. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest ones was that there was another child.
Yes.
Out there. Like, I guess he fathered a child with his mistress, played by Patricia Wettig, and they just assumed it was this woman, Rebecca, played by Emily VanCamp, like, for the last year of the show, or I don't know how long, but for a while, for a good amount of time.
For like the last year and a half or so, they've just like thought this was who she was.
And they accepted her.
That's season 1, episode 16.
Okay, so they accepted her into like their lives. They were like, finally, like, you know what, you're one of us, you're a walker,
Yeah.
Rebecca Walker. They love her. They include her in things. She comes to Christmas. She goes to, I don't know, she's part of...
she gets to be part of, like, the Walker family phone call chain.
Yeah.
Like, this is a family that is always, like, on the phone with each other, like...
Constantly.
Trying to, like, get out of stuff. Like, there's always, like, a phone tree kind of thing going on in this show between the siblings.
And then for whatever reason, I don't know, like, she decides to get a DNA test, or I don't know what makes it happen, but she gets a DNA test, and we find out she is 100% not a walker. Not a walker. No, so Patricia Wettig...
Well,
sorry.
What happens is Holly's ex comes back, and Rebecca, I believe, starts to, like, put together that this guy could possibly be her father because of the way Holly's relationship with him was and her relationship with William had been. So Rebecca's a little curious, so she gets, like, I think Rebecca gets a test done. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, well, a test is done.
Like, right at this second.
Yeah.
But
A test is done, and she finds out that she's not a walker, and it kind of like throws the family into, like, a tizzy for a bit, because they're all like, whoa, like, they don't know how to react. Like, a few of them, like Sally Field's character, she's accepting. She's like, you know what, I've loved you. Like, at first I was upset, but then, you know what, you were here for, like, a lot of the grief that I went through, so you're family now. But
yeah, because Justin had gone back into, like, got called back to duty.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
At the end of the season before. And so Rebecca, because she was estranged from Holly for a while, she was living with Nora. She was, like, there as Nora's support system during that whole time. And then when Justin came back because he was injured and dealing with his drug abuse, Rebecca was there.
Kind of, like, jumping around a bit because, I don't know, I can't remember, like, the way the episode played out, but we get a really, like, sweet scene between, I'm going to just keep calling her Sally Field because for the life of me, I cannot remember her character's name. But Nora and Rebecca, like, there's this, like, really sweet scene between the two of them. And Nora's like, you know what? Like, you may not be blood, but you were there for me every night that Justin was away at war. He was defending our country, and you were there. You were holding my hand. Every time that phone rang, you answered the phone for me because, like, she was expected to be that call that he was killed in action or missing in action or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she went to the phone and she answered it, and it was probably just like a telemarketer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, so, like, Nora is definitely, like, family first.
Yes.
She'll go to the end of the earth. She'd fucking cut a bitch if she has to, if anyone fucked with her family.
Oh, yeah. You do not want to cross Nora Walker.
No.
Like, no. She is that mama bear. Okay, so the episode starts with, like, the siblings are gathered at the house, and Sarah is going to break the news that Rebecca is not one of them.
Which I guess we find on the previous episode, right?
Yeah, they found on the previous episode. And so they're waiting for Kevin because they just want to, like, get it done and over with. And they decide, like, to stop waiting for Kevin. And it gets spilled and they're, like, freaking out about it. And Kevin walks in and he's like, okay, guys. He's like, Scotty must have told you, yada, yada. He's like, yes, Mom, we want you to do this. We would love to have it here. Kitty, we want you to be the officiant since you write speeches for a living. And then everybody's like, wait, Kevin, what the hell is going on? He's like, Scotty and I were having a commitment ceremony. Because he doesn't want to say wedding because it's before marriage was legal, but it was like a civil union.
Yeah, it was like George Takei and his boyfriend Brad were able to get like civiled, committed. I don't know what to call it, but you couldn't say they were married because this was 2007, 2008, so different times. This is a whole decade and almost a half ago. Believe it or not, Carol.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was another reason I want to do this episode because that's just like wild to me. Like, this was what they could say they were doing, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're getting married." Most of the family's like, "What? You're getting married, Kevin?"
There was a lot of weird things that occurred in this episode. It kind of hits that point where I would say, like, around 2009, 2010 is when smartphones really took over, and a lot of the modern conveniences became a big part of our lives. But this is just before that. And there's a scene where, kind of, as I said, jumping around, because I don't remember the exact word of the episode, but they're all driving around because they're trying to go to, what's the name of Kevin's boyfriends?
Okay, the three brothers, instead of having a bachelor party for Kevin, decide the night before that they are going to drive down to Arizona and try to talk to Scotty's parents, who do not approve him marrying another man because, Scotty's parents should be there when he gets married, even if it's not really a marriage. They're not really married because of the laws or whatever, but it's still exactly what the hell it was.
But it's just kind of weird because they're trying to find the house in a pre-GPS world. And
well, I mean, GPS existed. Like, you'd have to have the TomTom.
Yeah.
Or, like, a BlackBerry that has the GPS app. Because I think that's what he had, was a BlackBerry.
Yeah, so he pulls out his BlackBerry. Because I guess they've been just riding around aimlessly around a neighborhood for a while.
Yeah.
And one of the characters is like, oh my god, Kevin, you have a GPS on your phone? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, why didn't you use it? And he's like, well, I mean, I could have used it, but, I was just kind of afraid to go to the house. I was just, debating if I actually wanted to do this or not.
It's kind of weird. Like, really, like, think about how awkward it is, though. Do you really want to go, like, meet your fiance's parents who are, like, pissed that he's going to marry another man? You don't know what you're going to, like, walk into. Like, and it was so awkward. And it was, like, it was Fred from Roseanne, and then that mousy girl who you see every once in a while, but you never know her name.
That was Fred from Roseanne?
Yeah, that was totally Fred from Roseanne with Scotty's dad.
Damn. All right, so I just thought, like, the greatest throwaway line in that scene, though, was just them looking at Kevin's phone, and the other guys were like, whoa, you had GPS on that? And we just kind of forget that there was a time where, you had to be rich to have a phone that had GPS on it. You had to have money.
Dude, I don't know how. Thank God I did not, like, drive anywhere before I had a smartphone, because I don't know how to get anywhere. Like, at all.
Literally, like, 2 days ago, I was just texting a friend, and she lived in the city of Boston, but, like, she was actually from, like, a way west out town in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. And then when she moved to Los Angeles, like, every year she would come home, but she would stay with her parents, and it was, like, 2 hours away from where I lived. And a small crew of us would always just drive out to her parents' house to, like, hang out with her for, like, a day or two. And I just remember printing out MapQuest directions and just relying on those to get there. And it was just, like, if something happened, like, you took the wrong turn, you fucked up, like, you were just lost. Those directions were useless to you.
Yes, I remember that, like, the first time I went to Las Vegas, we had, like, the printed out directions so that we could, like, find our way to Las Vegas.
And then when my same friend was saying when she had, like, moved to California, they drove out there, and she's like, they just bought one of those, like, big-ass, like, AAA books that just has, like, every state mapped out, like, all the major routes and stuff. And she's like, we literally just, like, followed, like, a paper map.
Yeah.
And it was the most complicated thing, like, I ever had to do in my life. But at the time, it worked. And now that I've gone to GPS, I don't know if I can go back to that world. And then, to make the story even funnier, like I don't know, like 2-3 years ago, when my gal pal Mary Barbara came down to visit me, she's an older lady. She's, like, in her 60s, friend of the show. Mm-hmm. She drove down by herself, and she has GPS. She has all this technology, but she doesn't like it. So she, like, just used a map book. And I just thought that was, like, wild. She's like, I grew up on a map book, so, like, that's just what I use.
Well, it's funny. Even though we have, like, all this technology at our fingertips, like, today my boyfriend put on the afternoon news just to get the weather report. But because of the impeachment hearings trial or whatever, they're not showing the afternoon news. So he's like, how am I going to find out the weather today? And I'm like, go ask Google.
Not even that, just, like, pull up the weather app, girl.
I, like, literally, like, I walk him, like, the 10 feet to the kitchen to where one of our Google speakers is, and I'm like, hey, Google, what's the weather like today?
I know, is the Weather Channel still a thing?
We don't have cable, though, remember?
I mean, I have, like, the over-the-air cable.
So.
Which is just all the basic cable channels, but I don't recall seeing the Weather Channel on it. Like, I've never just, like, scrolled through
I think the Weather Channel exists. It's just like
documentaries, like shitty, like horrible storms, like storms that shaped us or something. I don't know, like, in the wintertime, it's all about blizzards.
I just remember there was always like a title, something that I thought be something cool, and then it wasn't anything cool. And I can't remember the title right now.
When you remember, tweet it on our Twitter at Very Podcast. All right, brothers and sisters. For all like 7 of you who are here for brothers and sisters, especially you steamed hams. Shout out to our new Twitter friend Steamed Hams, who's been missing us.
Hey, boo.
Yeah.
So,
hey, do we know Steamed Hams? Is this someone new to us?
I don't think we do.
Okay. Well, shout out to.
I was like, don't know who this is.
Shout out to him or her. Shout out to them. Sorry, I don't want to use pronouns.
Okay, so. Also in this episode, we have Kitty is trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And,
her and Rob Lowe are trying to get...
She's not a spring chicken.
How old is she? How old is Calista Flockhart?
And she's married to Senator Robert McAllister, played by Rob Lowe.
I have a question. I have a hot question for you.
Oh my god. Robert and Kitty are probably one of my favorite couples ever.
Hot question. Do we like Rob Lowe? I can't remember. I don't know what's happened in this world.
I think we like Rob Lowe.
I liked him on Wayne's World.
Because I think we're allowed to like Rob Lowe.
He was great on Parks and Recs. He was great on I don't know, that like nude pic of him in 1987 where you see his big penis.
Oh, you know what show I loved Rob Lowe on? The Grinder.
I don't know.
With Fred Savage.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh,
that was a fucking awesome show.
R.I.P. that show. That was a good show.
Damn you, Fox.
Yeah, same year as Grandfathered, I believe, with John Stamos and the other guy.
Yes, I used to watch those two together. I got them all on my iTunes.
Drake and Josh. The one that used to be hefty, but no longer hefty. That one from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
The better one. The one we like.
Yeah, he's now a YouTuber.
Yeah, shout out to him. The more handsomer one. The one who doesn't look like a meth head. Sorry for being controversial. That's what we do here on the podcast. All right.
Drake Bell, you can tweet him at Patrick M. Dunn.
And send all your hate to me. Pretend I'm Terry Crews.
I was going to say, just pretend he's Justin Bieber.
Or him too. You know what? Whoever you hate. pretend I'm your demon, your personal demon.
So we're just getting like a little bit of the Kitty and Robert like pregnancy drama. Like Kitty really wants to be pregnant. And then she has this talk with Sarah after she finds out she's not pregnant. And Sarah's like, you remember like this kind of fun stuff, but this is what I remember about being pregnant. And she talks about like the morning sickness and like what it feels like having this kid inside of you growing and how uncomfortable and miserable it is. And she's like, there are lots of ways to become a mother. You don't have to go through the pregnancy. And it kind of like finally gets through to Kitty that she doesn't have to be pregnant to become a mother, so that she and Robert can start to become open to like other possibilities that Robert was like kind of like trying to lean them towards for a while. And then Sarah is, meanwhile, during all of this, she is like trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Like she thinks Holly committed a fraud because, you know, the password to all the Ojai actual files included the letters STKKJR.
So that's why they thought it was Rebecca.
Which would be all the kids' initials if you included Rebecca. But if Rebecca's not his kid, so she's accusing Holly of being a fraud, and Holly's getting in Sarah's face because that's what Holly does. And Tommy's stuck in the middle because Tommy has a partnership with Holly in a vineyard. And then the vineyard saved the Ojai Food Company, kind of like bought it as a
subsidiary? Subsidiary.
Yes, like I'm trying.
Shout out to big words.
Yeah, whatever. I can't talk. I'm losing my voice again.
The demon's taking over.
But yeah, so you get like all this tension, and there's this fight between them, and Holly's like, I never proclaimed. He's like, I never, if he thought she was. Holly's like trying to throw it all on William, and it's just crappy, and it's just like pure Holly being annoying. It's like, why are you like trying to insert yourself into this family constantly? and like not understanding why they don't want you there, lady.
Holly's the worst.
It's like
Holly's
fascinating.
No shoutouts to Holly.
She could never stand Holly.
0 shoutouts. You know what? She gets negative. If we could give negative shoutouts, if we could like take back shoutouts that we accidentally gave because I fucked up something, that would be Holly. That would be for Holly. Like least favorite Holly ever. And I know a lot of shitty Hollys.
So those are like kind of our main like things that are happening. Sarah's trying to figure out like how to pursue this because she wants to like sue Holly about it because she thinks that she defrauded their father. And then we get the Kevin and Scotty wedding, and it's just beautiful. Nora goes overboard decorating like the living room with flowers. It's like insane. Like Martha Stewart would be like, holy crap, how did you do all this? It's amazing. And they have a beautiful ceremony, but they both forgot to get each other rings. So they end up like exchanging. One of them's wearing Tommy's ring and one of them's wearing Robert's wedding ring.
Robert is Rob Lowe. Who's Rob Lowe? Tommy?
Tommy is Balthazar Getty.
Okay, all right, sorry.
So
at this point, we should just say the names of the actors because I'm like literally like you're dropping names I don't know right now.
Sorry,
girl. Sorry. All right, I have another hot question for you. I have another hot game.
Okay.
I have a hot game for you.
Oh, God.
We're going to play. Let's create a Golden Girls scenario with brothers and sisters characters.
Oh, God.
So here I am. So I want Nora Walker and Holly living in the same house. And we have to pick one daughter. Is it going to be Kitty or Sarah who's going to join the Golden Girls scenario?
Kitty.
Okay. All right. I'll see it. And then we have to pick any other female character from any television series ever. Who would you want to live in the same house as Nora, Holly, and Kitty?
Ooh.
In a Golden Girls scenario. Golden Girls 2020 scenario. Think of every television character ever. Like, you know what? Time is irrelevant here. You could say like Mary Richards. You could say Lucy.
I want Susan from Desperate Housewives.
Oh, I want to live in this house. I want to be the neighbor. I want to be the doctor neighbor. I want to be Richard Mulligan living next door. Now we have to place them as their Golden Girls counterparts. So who would you place Terry Richards as? Would she be the Blanche? Do you think she's the Blanche?
She'd be like the Rose.
The Rose, you think? All right. I'm trying to picture Terry Hatcher as the Rose. All right, yeah.
Kitty's more of the Dorothy.
Kitty is totally a Dorothy. Nora is Sophia, I guess.
Yeah, and then Holly would be Blanche.
Well, I mean, she is a loose woman. You know, she has been around the block a few times.
I mean,
I like it. I dig.
Yeah.
I stand. Now we have to create a doctor to live next door. Dr. Doug Ross. A retired Doug Ross. Lives next door.
We're bringing in George Clooney, huh?
He's the Richard Mulligan. Oh, why not? He's been in every other show in history of television. Let's just bring him into Golden Girls 2020 with the stars of Desperate Housewives and Bros and Sisters.
Hot damn.
Why not, right?
That'd be awesome.
Or we could, any other famous TV docs you want to put next door? Any other famous TV docs you want to throw next door? Why not? Because why not?
Actually, I think to get the right vibe, it would have to be Dr. Mark Green.
Can you think of any non-ER docs? Non-ER docs?
Alive and Well.
Maybe McDreamy?
Dr. Patrick Drake from General Hospital.
I'm going to throw JD from Scrubs. Why? Because why the fuck not? You know what? It's a comedy. He's goofy. I don't know. It only gives us the opportunity to bring Sarah Chalke back into our lives. Because, you know, we love Sarah Chalke.
You know, I don't believe she's made an appearance on the Connors this year.
I think she's done. I think they,
Yeah.
They tried to make her character work, but her character on, The New Roseanne was kind of shitty to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's true.
I'm going to throw this out there. Not a fan of the Connors.
I watch it, and I just sit there going, Becky would not have been this much of a hot mess.
I will say, the entire 12, however many seasons of Roseanne, I was definitely a Darlene fan. And then as soon as the Connors came into existence, I became a Darlene retractor. And like now I'm like I'm just there for Becky. Like that. The occasional episode I watch, I'm like, what's Becky up to? Like, I want to see what Becky's doing.
Yeah.
And as soon as like Darlene comes on the screen, I just like fast forward that shit because I don't care anymore. I'm like, you know what, Becky, I'm over you. You know what, fuck you, Becky, fuck you, Sarah Gilbert.
Well, like they still haven't mentioned like the youngest son or Jackie's son. So there's no mention of Andy or Jerry, and I'm just like, where the heck? Come on.
I feel like we're in a weird...
Come on, people.
Alt universe. Like it's just like Earth 2, Roseanne.
Mm-hmm.
And then in like 5 or 6 years, we're just going to come back and it's just going to be like the real Roseanne again. Just whatever happened after the last time we left off. Or just not. You know what? Let's just not fuck with the template anymore. Let's just leave it alone. Let's just go back and enjoy the original.
Yeah.
Because, that's how it should be. Don't fuck with Mother Nature.
So Kevin and Scotty have gotten married.
Yeah.
And, they're having like the reception at the house. And the siblings all end up in a room together. And they're talking about how Sarah earlier had found a picture of a child. And they always assumed it was Rebecca. And she tried to give it to Rebecca. Rebecca's like, that's not me.
Yeah, my cheeks weren't that chubby.
I never looked like that. And, it's bugging Sarah. And she's talking to them up there. She's like, and they're trying to like put this all together, and Saul bursts into the room and he just assumes they're talking about him. And he's like,
oh, because he just recently came out as being a homosexual?
Yeah, but most of them don't know this. The only one who knows is Kevin. He's like, really? You had to tell them? Yes, I'm gay. And they're all like, everybody just kind of freezes. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's like the record scratched.
And Kevin's like, we were not talking about you, Uncle Saul. Oh, I love this. Is an amazing episode.
It was great. And then I think this is where the show takes a new trajectory. The show takes a hot new trajectory. So we now cut to Rebecca and Justin.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Before we get to that. Okay, because they were talking about the picture, and after Scotty and Kevin get home, Scotty says something to Kevin, and it triggers a memory for Kevin about one of the times he was with his father, like right after he himself came out of the closet, and how they had been in like out of town, and his father had met with somebody and found out that an old friend had died, and that picture of the baby was in the files that guy gave him. And so then they're like, what if he like puts it together, and he like goes to like Sarah, and he's like, I remembered something. I think there might be another kid from another affair our father had. And then he and Sarah like go to talk to Nora. And you get it, like, you don't hear what they're saying. You get the like shot pulling away and the music coming. And because they have to go like crush their mother's heart that their father might have had another fucking affair.
Yeah, fucking William Walker gets around.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's millions of them, and the fact that they're like blown away by a second one is just mind-numbing to me, because I'm like, really, guys? Really? You know what? William Walker has put his dick into fucking every Jane in town.
So, and then we get to the next day, and then we get the scene.
And he's not even that handsome.
So, for weeks, okay.
This is my favorite part of the episode.
Leading up to this, there was all this, like, weird, inappropriate chemistry between Justin and Rebecca. Like, there was even a part where they, like, almost kissed and stuff. And now they find out they're not siblings, and...
It was like...
things have been weird between them.
Let's go at it.
And they meet at this place overlooking Hollywood.
All I have to say is, you know what? It's like for the last like year and a half, you thought someone was your brother, you thought someone was your sister. And then like the minute they find out, it's like, thank God we're not related, let's fuck. Like that's just the weirdest, the oddest, the most bizarre, how bizarre, to quote OMC, RIP OMC, reaction to anything in life. Like, there's no time, like, they wasted no time at all. Wasted no fucking time. It's not like, let's have, like, a week or two to, like, just, like, sit on this thought, like, maybe think, like, would it be weird if we finger banged in the Hollywood Hills? No, it's like, you know what? They were on the Hollywood Hills, And Emily VanCamp's just like, you know what? You know what, Justin Walker? I'm ready. Fucking just...
Let's go for it.
Let's go in the back of my car and just fucking make babies.
So they kiss.
And
then, okay.
Weird phenomenon. I don't know how you felt about it.
It was really hard because part of me's like, oh, thank God they're not siblings because this chemistry is actually, like, fascinating. But then...
Legit.
Rebecca, okay, so eventually Justin and Rebecca get married and then they break up. It just feels like it was kind of like a waste of Justin's time being with him, with her story-wise. Like, we could have gotten somebody so much better for Justin than his, like, not half-sister.
Let's say it worked out. Let's say things worked out. And it's like, how did you guys meet? And he'd be like, well, I used to think she was my sister. And then I found out she wasn't my sister. So then I just started fucking her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, really? Really?
Really?
Yeah, because, you know, you're going to meet people in life. You're going to bump into you're going to make new friends. You're going to make new coworkers, new whatever, new cohorts.
Like, this is the kind of thing where you got to move somewhere else to be together so that, like, not everybody knows.
Yeah, maybe Mississippi.
You know what I mean?
Alabama. Where you can get away with this kind of shit.
Minnesota, you know, you got to go somewhere where nobody's going to know you.
Like, could you imagine?
Nobody's going to question it.
Like, what would you do? Like, all I'm saying is, like, what would you do if you found out, like, today, that you had a half-brother, and it was Dream Man. I'm sorry, it was Dream Man. We'll bleep that part out. Obviously. You found out that Dream Man was your half-brother, and then for the next, like, I don't know, year and a half, you guys are siblings, you got close, and then all of a sudden it was like day one where it's revealed, like, you know, I don't know, you pricked your finger, you got one of those like 23andMe tests, you just wanted to know, you wanted to know like how Scandinavian, how much Scandinavian is in you, and then you find out that you and Dream It don't have shared DNA, so now like it's going to be like, all right, so we just developed this, like, year...
Dude, it would be awkward. That would be so awkward on so many levels. Like, come on. You're not making out with them in the Hollywood Hills the next day.
Maybe, like, a little while after, but, like, I feel like you just developed this, like, relationship that lasted a year and a half. Mm-hmm. It went on for a while, and it's like you thought of them, like, you thought of each other on, like, a sibling level, and it's just like, oh, like, you know, we'll get coffee, we'll, like, talk about the news, and it's, like, the next day, you're like, you know what? Do me, Dream Man, do me.
Yeah, no.
That was just the most wildest part of the episode. You know what? No. That scene made the episode for me. I saw that and I was like, you go, girl. I was like, Emily VanCamp, this is why they casted you as Sharon Carter, because you know what? You're just DTF. The second...
Like, I literally forgot. So, like, when I was picking episodes, I either wanted to do the one where Robert was in the hospital or where Kevin and Scotty got married. And I forgot that this was the one, like, right after Saul came out and the Justin Rebecca thing until I was watching it. And then I was like, oh, fuck. Yes.
It's so great. You know what? Because, like, on a scale out of 1 out of 5 shitty Holly Hoppers, I would have given this episode, like, maybe like a 3. But as soon as I saw that fucking scene where Emily VanCamp and Justin were just fucking going at it, I was like, this is an automatic upgrade. This is like an instant upgrade. This is like a 4 out of 5. A 4 out of 5 shitty Holly Hoppers.
Like, it was a good season finale, too, because it had enough questions going forward.
Especially on the Hollywood Hills, of all places.
But it gave you some closure on some past stuff to keep you invested in the future. Which was good, considering this was also the year of the writer's strike. So, you know, everything was shortened and condensed.
All right, so any last hot thoughts on Brothers and Sisters?
I love this show. It is one of my favorites to watch. And I just love the interactions between the characters. It's just so great.
They're great. Shout out to Rachel Griffiths, gal pal. Mm-hmm. Come back, tweet us at Every Podcast. Tell us what it was like. Tell us what Callista Flockhart smells like. Tell us what Sally Fields ate for her lunch was, whatever I said earlier. I'm excited for next week, or next episode. Who knows when it'll be, because we're busy.
What are we doing next week, Patrick?
All right, so I suggested this, because I was like, we have to do this. We've talked about it maybe a long-ass time ago.
Yeah.
It didn't hit our radar. And I feel like we have to go back to a time. We have to go back to an era where things were simpler, maybe. Actually, no, things weren't simple. Things weren't simple here.
Mm-hmm.
We dealt with the complications of inner city life here. Things were tough. Life was tough. Life was hard. It was tough to be a high schooler.
Mm-hmm.
You had to deal with things like passing tests to be on the basketball team. You had to deal with a teacher who, came back after all these years at the school he used to go to, and he used to be a star. He was a hero.
Well, because his dreams were his tickets out of there.
Yeah, his dreams were his ticket out of there. He wanted to be a basketball player, I believe. He wanted to be a star. He had all these hoop dreams, so to say. And yet they didn't pan out. But you know what? He found a comfortable life, and he was like, you know what? If I can't do it, as they always say, if you can't do, teach. And that's what he did. And he's like, is he like the OG teacher? Is he like the OG TV teacher?
Maybe.
All right. I don't know if he's television's first teacher, but he should be. And we're going to go back to a time when our boy, comedian Gabe Kaplan himself went back to the Bronx. Was it? Did he go back to the Bronx? Where do the Sweat Hogs live? They live in New York City somewhere. Somewhere in New York City. I don't know exactly where.
Yeah, like Brooklyn.
All right. So, you know what? He thought he was going to get out of there. He probably had a hot college career. Maybe he hurt his Achilles heel. He tore an ACL or something.
Mm-hmm.
He went back to teach. And what was the first thing they said to him? What was the first thing they said to Gabe Kaplan when he came back?
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
They said that, and then they said, welcome back, Carter.
Back, Carter.
All right, so join us next week. We finally go into the world of Welcome Back, Carter, which gave us some hot stars like John Travolta, Gabe Kaplan, and the guy who played Horshack, and a lot of other famous people appeared on the show. But I'm excited. We haven't selected the episode yet. We have a list. We have a hot list that we're trying to
No, we haven't.
siphon through. Yeah, I suggested to do the episode about the flu, but Kat said it would hit too close to home, so I'm going to oblige her wishes. I'll oblige your wishes.
I'm just sick of the flu.
So who knows? Who knows what you get?
It's awful.
I know. If you want to hear about the flu, listen to the episode we did of the Golden Girls last year on this time, which we talked about the flu for your flu-related needs. All right. It's been a while since I said this. It's been a while. I'm excited to say this. Really excited to say this. Where can you follow us, Cat Halls of the Author? Where can you follow our wild adventure?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. Do not accept imitations. You can find us at veryspecialpodcast.com, saltyrockmedia.com, and on your favorite podcast listening apps.
Yeah, boy.
Including Spotify, iHeartRadio, and iTunes.
And as always, girl, as always,
bye!
Watch the skies for the flu virus. You look unimpressed.